my name is Elizabeth from KMTL Event. Welcome to episode 4 of our new series, KMTL Artist Spotlight. I'm honored to have with me today Brynne. So, could you please introduce yourself, your stage name, background, and where were you born and raised?
Hello, my name is Brian, and Brian, Brynne, that is my legal and stage name. So, I used to go by Brynne, and then when I was confident enough, I decided to just switch to my real name. I am born and raised in LA, never moved, and I don't think I'm going to. And yeah, I'm a indie alt pop artist, just trying to have fun.
Very nice to meet you, Brynne, Brian.
Either one works. I used to go by Brynne, Brin. A lot of people see my name and think it's that. Brian, I just tell people that because it's easy for them. But all accounts, everyone is wrong, and it's technically pronounced Brian. But I don't like that. Only my family gets to call me that. So
Perfect. So, I'll just call you Brian in that case.
yeah, yeah, that
Perfect.
works.
How long have you been involved in music, and when did you first discover your passion for this art form?
I think I've been involved in music since 2020 or 2021. I think 2020. I started producing in 2020. I was making a few songs on my guitar, like very simple things. And that's sort of when I discovered my passion for it. From a young age, I always had like, everyone has like music classes. Because of said music classes, I actually hated music. I hated playing it. I used to play the clarinet and it sucked. Like, not just like, I had no hate for my music teacher, but I just don't think that it was an environment for me to like be creative. It was just more of like I was doing that for a grade. But when I, had nothing else to do like everyone else in 2020, for, reasons, I was on my iPad and I remembered that there's this thing called GarageBand and I had my guitar with me. And yeah, I just fell in love with production and I listened to music in a whole new way that was just like so intriguing. So I think that's where it all kind of stems from. Just like out of boredom and lack of expression for such a long time.
Mhm. So, would you say that the main instruments that you play would be the guitar?
Absolutely. Before singing, before producing, before everything, the thing that made me get into music was guitar. I remember, I had a friend back in freshman year of high school who was learning how to play guitar, and I thought like, that's so sick. I want to learn with you. Um, and then around the same time, I did watch like Bohemian Rhapsody, like the Queen movie.
Mhm.
I remember watching Brian May, or like his actor, and I remember hearing the guitar solos for all the songs, and I like fell in love. And same thing with like, I had a Beatles phase too. I loved all of them. Like those were like my inspirations of starting guitar, and so yeah, that's sort of. If it weren't for that friend in freshman year of high school, I probably wouldn't have picked up guitar.
Mhm. So, what about like what inspired you to pursue a career in music in general in that case? And were there any specific influences or experience that guided you?
I hadn't found something for a while, for like a long time, when I was younger, that like made me this extremely excited or happy. I mean, obviously I like video games, but even those got like kind of boring. I wasn't always a gamer, to be honest. Um, for the most part, I was like one of those. I used to be like one of those like pretty book smart kids. Tried my best to get straight A's, and that's like what I prided myself in. But after a while, it just like, like what else is there in the world? And I think at the same time, being online all the time, I would see like people making music, and it was such an interesting idea to me that like, oh, the thing that I'm like listening to in my earbuds, like someone had to go and like modify this sound so much, and like how do you even figure it out? Like it's not a formulaic thing, and that was like something that was interesting to me because I used to be a math kid. I love formulas. I like if this then this happens. That's not so much in music, even though I thought like, oh, okay, if guitar, then it sounds like guitar, but not all the time. It sounds like guitar. Um, Yeah, I think just the flexibility of it is something that was like, okay, I can take this wherever I want. If I want to be a producer, I can do it. If I want to be a songwriter, I can do it. And honestly, because I've met so many people, it's only proven to like, it's only like made me want to keep going for music.
Mhm.
There was never one moment that defined like I'm going to make music. It's really just been the buildup of the people I surround myself with that really keep me going, and even started my uh, inspiration to pursue it.
In what ways does your Asian heritage shape your artistry, and could you discuss the challenges you faced related to your background throughout your career?
And I've mentioned this in previous things where I don't want to be seen as an Asian American making music. I want to be seen as a musician who just so happens to be Asian American. I don't want people to listen to me because of my identity. I want people to enjoy my music, and if they are proud of me, that they are also proud of like the fact that I am an Asian American. I feel like, every artist you will talk to, probably within like the North American sphere, that is Asian American or Asian Canadian, they feel like they have to be boxed in onto a certain sound, and that there is only so much space for us. So I think on one hand, it is frustrating because you just keep getting compared to like what you should be making. There's like a certain sound that people want to associate you with, or certain artists that they want to associate you with, that they're only really associating you because, oh, it's like similar enough in genre, and also they're Asian and you're Asian, so we'll put you guys together. But in the same way, um, oddly enough, because of me being an Asian American artist, there's only so many other Asian American artists that I can connect to with a similar experience, and we bond over that. Um, a lot of my friends, we grew up as artists alone, and then when we finally were able to reach out to each other, only we could understand each other on a personal level of what kind of hardships we had to go through in like figuring out where we place in a world that doesn't usually favor us. Sometimes there's been times where like we are favored in like the global market of music, but for the most part we are diluted to just Asians that make music, and that is like only something some other creatives can understand. But for like a very specific thing that I'm like I find kind of funny, I'm a Filipino, and a lot of Filipinos, they they aren't encouraged to be creatives. Even though like you'll have the stereotype of like Filipinos are the greatest singers, dancers, etc., artists. Um, I didn't know how my family felt about art. I never asked them.
Mhm.
So I, for the first couple of years of my artistry, I did not tell my parents anything. They knew that I had my guitar. They knew I had a microphone, but they did not know I was releasing on Spotify. And I was scared to death to tell them, or like for them to see that I was recording anything. And they found out through my aunt's Facebook. I was like scared because like the typical thing that I would see in, I'd always hear like horror stories of like people telling their parents that they want to do something that isn't get degree, get 9 to 5, become successful in the way that most people see success in, um, without ever, really even taking a chance on your own dreams. Um, I was used to that. And then when my parents found out, they're just like, "Hey, did you make this?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Okay." That was the end of the conversation. They did not care the entire time. I think like being surrounded by like so many other Filipinos and like seeing it, I'm like, there was no like pushback. And I was like, I could have told these guys like when I first started, what am I doing? um, so yeah, I think that's like the only like personal like barricade I ever had to go through as an Asian. It was just like getting used to the fact that like even though there's so many like stereotypes of your own culture not like accepting you because you didn't follow the traditional route, like I had to deal with that mentally, but like there was no barricade. I was like low-key just pushing myself back. Yeah, that's all I can think of though.
I see. And you said that like you don't want others to just think of you as an artist that's Asian American. So in that case, how do you express your identity through your music and what significance does it have hold for you?
Expressing my identity through music was something I struggled through with the album. Um, it all stemmed from the first song I made for the album called "Promise Me You'll Be Okay."
We were calling quits, now we're a myth. So promise me you'll be okay. Promise me you'll be okay. 'Cause I don't think that I could live if you don't find eternal bliss. Promise me you'll be okay. Promise me you'll be okay. 'Cause even though we'll never talk, we still got time ticking on that clock.
It was every song I made before that. They were personal, but not to a degree where I felt like I was actually speaking my mind. "Promise Me You'll Be Okay" was a significant song in that I really let go. I did not rewrite anything. Whatever I wanted to really say for a while, I just let it out. And the only way I have like kind of understood how to express my identity through music has just been um there are ideas that I've wanted to express for so long, and this is the only way I know how to, without it being just like straight up crying, or just being really sad all the time. Um, and it means like the world to me that I have an outlet for myself. It's a beautiful experience to go through some pretty severe parts of your life and to turn it into something beautiful. Turn it into something that other people can connect to, and it really does just remind everyone that hey, we're all human. And I don't know, something about that is just like really important to me. And so expressing myself through my music is always important because someone can always see themselves in my music. So yeah.
So would you say that the inspiration of all your songs would really be personal experiences?
For the most part. All the words I could have said, yes. Absolutely. It is literally just like song after song. I did not I mean obviously I over-exaggerated a little bit on some lines, but like they're all based on some experience or some emotion that I had,
Mhm.
whether or not it's like something that like is a good feeling or not. Most of the time it's not a good feeling. um, it is something that is true to me. It is human, and it's who I was. Postscript very much was just like I'm gonna be so just like honest. I remember there was like one line in particular I was like, yo, I'm really pushing it. It was in, or like actually two lines, but one in particular was in Postscript, like the song. It was like, I'm telling you, if I don't want to die, then I know I'm doing better than before. It's like literally just like saying hey, um, so like I'm good now, cause like I don't feel like I want to die. Like it's like I'm putting it as plain as possible. No more metaphors. No nothing. And yeah, so that whole era, very very honest and true to myself and real personal experiences. I've been making things though where it's more of just it's not exactly that I'm not true to myself, but it's more of I felt this emotion for a little bit. What kind of story can I build upon it? You know, I wanted to step back a little bit from over honest. I just want to be a little more whimsical and fun with it. I don't know. I've had a very serious past like year or two of like let's make things that are gonna make people cry. I kind of just want to have fun with my music again, but I had a good run of being honest.
Mhm. For sure. And like the message that you're trying to like put across to all your fans as well. Very
Yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah.
Since we're on the topic of Postscript already, I wanted to know a little bit more about the new release, like EP titled Postscript, and it has four songs: "Call Me Back," "Not Quite Love," "At the End of the Day," and "Postscript." Can you share the inspiration behind this collection and a brief overview of what each song represents? How do they connect with one another within the EP?
So, Postscript is the continuation of all the words I could have said. I always say that all the words I could have said was a letter to everyone that I'd ever met, to the world, of just like, this is who I am. This is me proving that I'm an artist, that I'm taking this seriously. And these are real emotions that I have felt over the past couple of years that I've never told anyone. And now I'm going to give it all to you in one go. But in writing it, you kind of realize you will never figure out like what to say at the very end, right? Like, how do you end off something? And so I'll Figure It Out is the last song of my album, and it's like, it's sort of ending on this bittersweet note of like, I don't know what I would say at the very end if like this was like a death letter or something, but it's okay. Like, it's okay that I don't know, because you'll never really know. And if that's supposed to be like the big letter, Postscript literally is just PS. Here's some other things that I couldn't quite fit on the album, but I really wanted to share with everyone. One song in particular, "Call Me Back," I really wanted to be on the album, but for the love of God, I could not figure out where to put it. Like, nowhere in the track did it make sense. I was like thinking maybe after Hometown, but then like CPR is such like a different song, and I was like, you know what? I'll just move it. We'll just move it to the end. We'll put it deluxe. Due to like distribution problems, couldn't do a deluxe. Honestly, perfectly fine with that, because I feel like doing a deluxe sort of implies that like you can still fit in the track list somewhere. I have like no actual place to put it. So Call Me Back was like the first one where I knew, okay, this is going on a new project.
I lost my home, but I never moved. So tell me, why do I feel so alone? You don't ever call me back, and it's fine, I'll stay stuck in my past. And I know it's kinda stupid that I'm out here missing us, 'cause I'm out here still pretending that I don't.
Oddly enough, the rest of the three songs were made after the project was released. So it really is like writing out the extended part of the letter. Call Me Back was, I think a lot of people assume it's about like an ex relationship. It's about an ex relationship, but not like a romantic one. Honestly, it was about some old friends that I used to have, and I think it's a very common thing that people will, drift apart and they won't know why, and you're just like, call me back from time to time. Like, are we cool or not? Like, I don't know if some people dislike me now, like, for one reason or another. I don't know, because we don't talk, and it's just like, that was like sort of my farewell to some people, and I was like, whatever, I hope you do good, and that's sort of it. If you don't want to talk, that's cool. And the next song, Not Quite Love.
Keeping quiet, 'cause I know it'll fall, 'cause it's not quite love. It's a thought of us, even though it feels so right while you're laying by my side. It's not quite love.
I wanted to do a song that was like almost purely produced by me. Most of these songs are produced by me and the executive producer for the album and EP and a lot of my songs, Steven, who also mixes and masters a lot of my stuff. Thank you, Steven. But Not Quite Love was a song that he added one thing to it, which is like drums. But all the guitars are fully my own. So Not Quite Love, I'm gonna be like a little honest. It's about a feeling you get when you keep falling in love for people that you know you shouldn't be. You're like, what am I falling in love with you for? Am I really falling, or is it just like the attention that I like? And it's a feeling that sucks, but you know, it happens and it comes and goes. It's just how it is, and you like at some point you just have to be honest with yourself. Like, this isn't love. I don't love you, but like, I feel something, but it might just be the attention right now.
Mhm.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day, I'll find my way home. Don't just stay, need you to go. With or without you, at least I will know. At the end of the day, I'm walking alone.
is a much more existentialist song. I like to think of it as my continuation to Epistasis from my album, which is literally just my whole problem with existentialism and my like quarter life crisis that I had, even though I was like 15 when I had it. um,
Shit, it's hard to breathe. I'm screaming at the walls alone. Give me time to redefine every reason I live at all. I won't ask for help if I left for hell.
but at the end of the day, it was like the acceptance of people coming and going in your life. Knowing that like some people are there in your life for a certain amount of time, and you have to accept that they will leave, and it's okay that they leave, because at the end of the day, you'll still be going home, you'll still be okay, you'll be fine, they'll be fine, you don't need to force it anymore. And that acceptance is like super important to me, because I held on to a lot of people and I had so much resentment to like letting go, but realizing to let go, it's just so much more, it's like a breath of relief. And then Postscript.
Someone new just to fill in the hours. Someone to replace a throne. Every day the words get older. What is it that I'm saying from? I just wanted you to hear me. Maybe one day you'll sing along. And I'll tell you if I don't wanna die.
I feel like it's sort of a culmination of everything. I was just like, let's just throw in a bunch of lines that of me being honest, of like I said earlier, telling you I don't want to die, that I know I'm doing better than before, I'm doing good, and I can't figure out what to say at the end. I don't know if this is worth it anymore, but I'm gonna say whatever I need to, and then I'm gonna be done. And this song is more of a setup to the end of my era. I'm done with the honesty. I'm done. I think I've said as much as I really wanted to now. Let's set myself up for whatever I have next coming up. And I just wanted to end off the like year-long era of emotion and sentimentalness.
A lot of lessons that was learned in 2025.
Oh boy, a lot. There's a whole lot for me there.
But honestly, I could not have worded better. I think you said everything, all the lessons that I've learned as well in the years. So much emotions that was put into your album.
Yes, it is a roller coaster. I loved when like everyone was listening for the first time and they're just like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm great. Are you okay now? Because you just heard some really deep shit. Are you okay? A few of my friends did text me and be like, I cried to this album or like this EP, and I'm like, thank you. That means a lot, because that means you felt the same way I felt, and that's all I really want to do. Sometimes just bring out that emotion that you don't want to come out.
I remember I was listening to your album in the car, like in the evening, and it just like so much emotion.
Oh man, no, I'll be honest. I listen back sometimes because I like to give myself a little pat on the back. I'm like, damn, I really did that. You know, before I was even like able to drink, I could like make this album with my friends, and it was like a pretty emotional part of me, and it's a big part of my life. And I'll listen back and I'm like, damn, I was really going through it, man. And I don't think I would have been comfortable putting this out if I couldn't cry to my own songs. You know, that's how I know I'm proud of it. If I can cry to my own music.
Would you say that this was the defining moment in your career, or you had something else that happened to you as an artist?
I think, yeah, the album itself. I think the EP not so much, but the album was a pretty defining part of establishing that this isn't just a side thing to me. Like this is an important part of my life because I always treated it like it was just like, oh, I just do this on the side. But you know, really, like I think putting a debut album out is like such an important moment in someone's life that you just, you know, how many people can say that they have an album out? That's like so insane. It still does like take me a while to like. It still takes a while to process that like I did do that. Yeah, so I think it is a pretty significant part of like my career. It is a highlight.
And what was the reactions of your fans, or you've mentioned before a little bit about like the reactions of your friends, but what
Yeah,
about your fans?
I fear for my fans if they're okay, because they're like repeating the songs, and I'm just like, okay, you know, listen to it, sure, but like, are you okay? you know, you know. For the most part, anyone that was a fan that did listen, I always got like really good reviews of it, and it made me really happy to see that people could understand my work of art, and it wasn't just something super abstract, and um, they just got it, and they enjoyed it. They felt emotional listening to it, probably hearing me like do some things I had never said before. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I from everything I remember, they enjoyed it a lot, and that made me happy.
I enjoyed it as well.
Thank you, thank you.
What emotions or ideas were you hoping to convey through the lyrics and melody of the songs?
Nostalgia. It's I didn't want to make a very nostalgic track. The whole idea about it, like I said before, is just like just old friends. And I literally mention a street that was like a street that I definitely passed by when I used to hang out with some of my friends. And it's just reminiscing about things on how they were, and like why can't it be like that now? Why can't we talk now? That was the big part of it. And that just at the very end, it was just like the sentimental part of just, well, it won't it won't happen, and it won't change. I have to leave the past as the past, and I can't bring it back. And that was like the main part of it.
I think it's definitely hard to learn that lesson growing up as well, since we've always trying to, you know, go back in the past and you want to hold on to these moments, but we
You
know
always want to
that.
hold back, but like the sooner that you do let go of things, like the easier it becomes to actually. I found it like really weird. The more I was able to let go of things in the past, the more that I would actually come back. Because to be completely honest, coming back was about like high school friends. You know, like when you go to college, you lose your high school friends. Like, and everyone tells you that all the time, but you're just like, it doesn't really hit you until it hits you, and then you're like, damn, I got like 2 to 3 years into this stuff, and I haven't heard from any of them. And it's just like, huh, interesting. No hate towards them. I have like no problem with any of them, but I'm just like, dang, that happened. Interesting.
I don't know if you ever had like those, you know, the reu 10 years reunion for high
Oh my
school.
god, I've been dreading that so much. I don't want to go back. I kind of was like, I think about this every like 2 weeks or so. I'm just like, I'm getting to like the 5 year reunion.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm about to graduate, so that means 4 years have passed since high school. Uh, one more year, are we doing a high school reunion? And do I want to go? I've kind of decided I'm not going because, to be honest, I don't feel like it. I don't think I want to. But it hasn't happened yet.
So I actually had a curious question because we've been talking so much about Postscript, but would you say that that was the main song in the EP, or it would be Call Me Back since it was released first?
I don't. Man, I've thought about this so much, and it's just like I don't know anymore.
Mhm.
Um, Originally, Call Me Back was like just like the introduction into it, but I feel like so many people gravitate towards that song because honestly, it's pretty catchy, and I get it. A lot of
Mhm.
people like. I think I know a song is good when my friends keep teasing me about it. I hear it like at least once every 2 days when I'm on call with my friends, and so I think it is. I think Postscript is sort of like the ending song. I just named the entire EP Postscript because it's a cool name, and it just conveys like, hey, this is like where the EP fits in the whole scheme of things. Um, but oddly enough, I wanted to say that at the end of the day is the main song because I saw it as my lead. I When it did come out, I'm like, this is the one you want to listen to. Not quite love is for like you hopeless romantics, but I think everyone can kind of get behind at the end of the day's message because it's such a universal thing of people come and go in your life, and yeah. So I don't know. For me, it's a tie between Call Me Back and At the End of the Day. Although, if we were going to go by like how I intended it to be, it would be At the End of the Day would be like the lead.
And how do the themes of Postscript have helped you with your personal experiences when you put the album out?
Let me think about this one. I learned a lot from the album. Um, on like how do people gravitate towards very personal songs. I've like seen how people react to it, and it's an interesting thing because it's not marketable by any means.
Mhm.
Like by all conventional means and standards, I should not have released this album. I should not have released this EP, but I did it simply because I felt it was the part of my life that I needed to go through. Honestly, it matters more that I'm able to reach just a few people and that they are absolutely like in love and engulfed in the emotion that I was able to put out more than like if just a bunch of people could react to some generic song I was able to make and put out within a few days. I think that means so much more to me. And yeah, I didn't expect this EP to do well. Um, but to be honest, it blew my own expectations on it because I, to be honest, didn't promote. I was busy with finals, and I got lazy. So I was like, I will let the EP breathe on its own. I will say, hey, I posted it. It's out for you guys if you want. I didn't want to have to force this project down people because I didn't feel it was necessary to really do so. And it was more of the album and the EP go hand in hand in the fact that I don't release it for everyone. I release it for myself, and it's a personal project of mine. That's changing though. After that though, like now the rest of it, okay. Let's have fun. Let me like actually show you like the more fun things I'm able to make. Now that we're done with the sad stuff.
Is there any lyrics from like the four songs that you released in Postscript that you think might relate to the audience more since a lot of it is connecting to your personal experience?
I feel like a lot of people that are fans of my music are. I've started to notice that like they're kind of shy. They are a little bit more quiet, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's like I'm the same way sometimes. In Postscript, the second like stanza, I say, "I just wanted you to hear me. Maybe one day you'll sing along." Um, I wrote that because I was just like, there's some people in my life that I wish would just see that like I just some people just feel like they're not seen sometimes,
Mm.
and maybe one day will be okay again.
Mm.
I think that's a pretty common theme of like I just want to be heard. Sometimes might be attention seeking, but Yeah. I think the other one I can think of was I'll always have a piece of you as part of me, and you'll have the same. It's a line from At the End of the Day. I think there's some I don't know who started this idea. There's like this idea that you are made up of everyone you've ever met. You are just like pieces put together, and I think like it really did put into perspective just like how much influence that humans have on each other.
Hmm.
You start to notice like the small tendencies when you're near someone you're really close to. Like you'll say the same things as them. You'll say some certain words, or you'll do a certain action. And when they leave your life, you still do it, and you don't know why, and it will remind you of them. Um, but I think that's what makes us people, is that we're just a collection of others we've met along the way.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's a pretty just interesting fact about us. Just like, hey, you're mentally just made up of the people that you surround yourself with. It's important you keep yourself with people that support you.
For sure. And how does the Postscript differ from your previous work, both in styles and themes?
Sonically, it is much more mature. I wanted that to be a very obvious part
Mhm.
of the project. When I was making these songs, I was listening to more acoustic songs. I You could probably hear in like some of the guitars, but like I would listen to quite a bit of John Mayer for a bit, um, and I I wanted it to be a little less processed than all the words I could have said, because my main genre is pretty electronically inspired.
Mhm.
I wanted to take a step back and go back to like what I started with, which was just me and my guitar. So you'll hear in Not Quite Love and At the End of the Day, it's very acoustic and band oriented songs that I could perform live with like my main band, and I wouldn't have to do like any crazy changes to anything. And these are all parts that are meant to be played in person, which is big contrast to all the words I could have said. Is just every song is something completely different, and it's a whole new experience taking from so many genres, because that's just who I am. Yeah, I really did want to go back to my roots for Postscript of me and my acoustic guitar, because people associate me with my guitar,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, let's just see what I can do with just me and that, nothing else.
Was there like one reaction that stood out to you from your friends, family, or even like your fans?
I think a lot more people gravitated to Call Me Back than I thought. I didn't, I don't know, I didn't expect so many people to listen to it. I really thought like it would just be like a fun little thing. The If you look at the promotion for Call Me Back, I really treated it like a joke.
Mhm.
The cover art has me with a banana in my hand, using like a phone. Um, it was such like a whimsical song to me. Like just listening to it, I was just like, it's such a fun beat, even though it's such a sad song. It's so fun. Um, did not think that the fans would love it that much.
Mhm.
Not a problem though. Yeah, that's like that was the only surprise. I think everything else, I was hoping that people would tell me that they cried to it, just because I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be sad, and you're gonna be sad, I want to get you to a point where you're like really thinking about shit.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So yeah, it was just Call Me Back's reaction was interesting to me.
So if you would have to like describe the style of music that you typically gravitate towards for someone that hasn't listened to your music before, what would it be?
Alternative pop? Um, Pop. I think just pop, because yes, like you'll hear the songs all are different, because I
Mhm.
can't. I physically cannot just do the same song twice. Um, but it's all like some sort of pop involved. Like it could be 80s pop that I take influence from. Hyper pop I take influence. But I think yeah, alternative pop is just like a generalized term for it, just to be
Mhm.
like it is pop by all accounts it is technically pop, but there's always just something slightly different that's just like, oh, that's not Billboard 100, but it's something else, something a little off. So yeah, I would say alternative pop. Yeah.
So, as we embark in 2026, what are the goals as an artist in your music career? Are you planning to release more music or even go on tour soon? And what can fans look forward into?
So I want to take a break from the live shows. I did quite a lot of live shows last year. I have no problem with them. I'll probably do one at some point. Not as a headline though. I did my headline show last year and it was great. Do not get me wrong, but I was so tired. Um, it was a lot of work. When it comes to live shows in particular, it's just I'll relax on that.
Mhm.
I want to focus more on how things were before the EP came out, where I could release a little more sporadically, just like however I feel. It wasn't that something had to be super well thought out or planned. I mean, obviously, I want to hold myself to a certain degree of quality. I still, like, if you look back from, like, old cover arts to new cover arts, very big difference. I want to keep that going, like, visually. I want there to be, like, I want to uphold some sort of quality with that. I do want to branch out a little more musically. I just want to release again and not have to think about the implications that come with like press and a bunch of visuals and promotion. I miss so much just working on music, and I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks, and it's been great. And it's something I've actually kind of missed a bit because every day during that album rollout was just like, all right, I would not even think about the songs that were on the album. I would think about what do I need to do to make sure that like I'm posting something about it. Um, yeah, I just want to bring it back to the music because I've been so caught up in everything but the thing I'm trying to pursue.
Mhm.
I sort of lost focus for a bit. So yeah, 2026, I just want to release more music that isn't necessarily a whole. I don't know. I don't need to deliver a full story all the time. It's something I realized. I can sometimes just say some things. If it sounds good, it sounds good. Put it out. Other than that, consistency. Once I graduate, I hope that I could be a little more consistent in releasing. I don't know. With a school schedule, it's sort of more difficult. I don't know when I'm gonna be needed for projects or stuff. So, I know that like last year sucked because I was taking like 12-hour school days.
Oh.
Um, and so I wouldn't be home. I wouldn't like I'd literally just be like working and studying all day. So no time to like really post too much or record any demos. I just had to lock in. But hopefully towards the end of the year I can get back into a little something more consistent.
I'll be looking forward to your new music.
Thank you.
And I wanted to focus a little bit more on the cover art for Postscripts or any of the cover art on your Spotify. So, but most specifically for Postscript, I noticed that it features a shadow with you in the middle, surrounded by light on the floor against a black background. What was that idea about?
If you look at the trailer shoot that I did for the album, um, you'll see that there's a part where I'm standing by the beach, and I'm alone, and there's a spotlight. That's where I got the Postscript cover art from. Um, it was just one of the photos that one of the photographers took while filming. Um, so the black background, it's the ocean, like that. The actual ocean is there. I'm standing on sand, and what I'm holding is my notebook that I used to write in. It is now trashed because of the trailer. I literally ripped it apart. So it's fine. I mean, it was. I kind of miss it though. It was a really nice notebook, but I don't know. I wanted it to be like literal night and day difference between album and then the end. It's like a full day cycle, right? You sort of saw the sun setting in all the words I could have said, and I'm writing in the same notebook, and then at the end, I'm like dropping it. I'm just leaving it behind. So yeah, that was just sort of like the inspiration for it. It was towards the end of the shoot where I was filming the dropping notebook scene of it's supposed to be symbolic of like I'm letting go of the pages, and I'm just letting you guys take it. If you really want to like connect all the dots together, if you look at the Epistasis music video, there's a lot of cranes and papers that are burned in this big fire pit, sort of as a way of me like physically letting go of things. In that music video, there are letters that I did write from that notebook, and I did toss them in there. There's also paper cranes that I used to write in. I used to, back in senior year of high school, I wrote like what I was feeling every day on a piece of origami paper. I'll fold it into crane, put it in a box. So by the end of senior year, I had like 100 cranes or so, 100 or more, something like that. And I burned them all. I just wanted to get rid of it because I felt like I was holding on to something that I shouldn't be anymore. So if you really want to take a step back and look at the visuals in a form of story, I'm writing the letters, I let go of them, and then I completely like leave them to nothing. Like I don't know. The whole thing of this is just let go of my own feelings and let everyone see it. Be transparent with everyone. I think Aruma took that photo. It was like one of the salvage shots from the shoot. I was like, damn, that's such a cool photo. Like that's a perfect way to end off everything.
In 2026, can we expect more aesthetic photos like that for your future
I
singles?
hope so. I really hope so. To be honest, like it's I haven't thought about much about my visuals because it's almost a curse that I made something like that. I released something so beautiful because people are gonna expect me to be releasing things that look that cool all the time. So I have to ask my friends to make something that looks that cool all the time. Luckily, I did talk to Aruma about like some new things that I was working on. He does seem interested in working on them, so hopefully we are getting some cool shots again. Maybe not full on music videos. I want to take a little bit of a break because they take a while and a lot of money. So I'll just be sticking to like some at least good cover arts to make sure that at least the photos are aesthetic.
Would you like to plug one of your music videos or your favorite cover art?
Music video, I have to like show off the Epistasis music video. That is by far the craziest visual I think I've ever like done, and everyone will agree with me for it. Like it was Aruma, the creative director. It was like his first time directing a music video fully. And for it to be my music video, it's very funny. My like Epistasis is my piece de resistance, you know, like it's like that's my song. Like that's the one I'm so proud of. And Aruma felt the same way about the music video, where like this is the culmination of so much work on different sets, and it's also his first time working as the lead for it all. He worked so hard on it, and I spent a lot of time making sure that the video was up to like what I wanted to be and what he wanted to be. It came out so much better than I thought, to be honest, and I'd love to give that one much more attention if I could. So yeah,
We'll be happy to promote it for you.
thank you.
I wanted to know actually, have you ever had the opportunity to visit Montreal or a city nearby in Canada? Since we are based here.
I wish. There's always been talks of like some of my friends like heading over to. I have some friends in like Toronto or Vancouver. I've always wanted to visit, but have had no time. So, unfortunately, no, I haven't been to Montreal or anywhere in Canada.
I hope someday you could come visit. It's a very beautiful city for sure.
I've seen a lot. I've like seen a lot online, and I am very intrigued. I mean, like I wanna experience Tim Hortons in Canada. There's been Tim Hortons around the world. There was one in the Philippines I saw. There is one in the U.S. I think. I don't want to go there. I want my first time at Tim Hortons to be in Canada. I want to try poutine in Canada. Your guys' Costco is like also different, and I want to experience that because I love Costco. I want to see what Canada's Costco is like. Um, yeah, I'm afraid because I'm from California and everything's like warm to you guys. My friends were like wearing shorts and they were dying out of the heat because it was like 32 degrees Celsius when they visited. So like, it's pretty like they're like dying. So I want to know what it's like for me to be freezing up there. Yeah, no, I really do want to visit Canada though.
So you've already heard so much about Canada already.
Hmm.
But have you heard like of any French words by chance?
No, other than the ones that are used like in English, I think is déjà vu a French term? I think it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bit.
Other than that, no, I haven't heard anything else.
Would you like to learn a little bit of French?
Sure. No, absolutely.
So, bonjour would be hello.
Okay. Bonjour.
Montréal for Montreal.
Wait, say it one more time. Mon,
Montréal.
Ré, Al, Montreal.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I haven't rolled my R's in Spanish class in high school. Oh, so you guys don't say the T. So
No.
it's not pronouncing. Oh, wow, that's so weird. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I I did go to like some of my Canadian friends. And I was
Mm.
like, did I say this right? And I was saying Montreal. I did the accent on the E. I did not do the thing with the T. I missed that completely.
I think most people like they kind of just say Montreal at that point. But
Yeah.
if bonjour Montréal,
Bonjour, Montréal.
je m'appelle
Je m'appelle.
Brian. Yes.
Okay, I practiced at least that part right. Okay.
Where did you
So,
learn that?
I think I think for some reason I've heard that phrase "je m'appelle" so
Mm.
much because people like yeah, I know French. M'appelle and then like name. Like they'll like make it sound really bad too. So I've actually heard "je m'appelle" quite a bit. I have heard "bonjour" because that's a pretty common.
Mhm.
It's just hello. Like everyone knows like, hola, hello, ¿cómo está? Everyone knows those. But the pronunciation of Montreal to me is just crazy. That threw me off so hard. Um,
It's definitely difficult. There's some words that I can't like really roll my R's either. So I sound like an English speaking friend.
is it
Before we conclude this interview, if you could collaborate with any fictional characters or famous historical figures in your music, who would it be and why? And what do you think this collaboration would sound like?
the first two contenders that I had before joining this call was Hatsune Miku, just to say that I did, or Peter Griffin from Family Guy. I play Fortnite a lot, and like
Mhm.
Peter Griffin was in the game, and like it's been a very significant part. But now I think about it, I would love to collaborate with Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Mhm.
Um, Johnny B. Good was like a really fun song that he played. I think he can shred on electric guitar better than I can. I know he didn't write the song, but like it was when I did play it, it was pretty cool. I think I would make like a really fun like 70s or 60s rock song with him because my influences were like 60s 70s rock. I think it'd be really funny if Marty McFly and I had a collaboration and we just like ended up making a rock song. That would be sick.
If you had to make up a song on the spot, like with like 2 lines, 3 lines, like chorus, how would it sound like?
If I was in like the writing room with Peter Griffin, I would make a song with him about like cake. We'd probably sing something about like I cut the cake uneven and I'm gonna take the larger slice and give the smaller slice to someone I didn't like. That's like me like really stretching out like really like improvising on a song on like what would I write about. If I wrote with Hatsune Miku, full on EDM, full on rave music. I am making a song that are being played at the raves I don't go to. Um, Crazy vocal chops. And if I wrote a song with Marty McFly, I'd write a song with Doc Brown. I'd write a song with the scientist instead. Both of us are like at least we can understand each other in terms of science. And I think that guy has an interesting voice. I'd love to like just spit some bars that are wildly scientific and had no reason to be that good. Like, I don't know. I'd love to just like talk about Newton's laws for 3 minutes. Somehow make it like a diss track.
So I'm assuming you've taken the physics chemistry classes.
I've taken them. I had to. Like, I'd love to make a physics class, physics like rap with Doc Brown.
And that brings us to the closing of our conversation today. Thank you, Brian, for sharing your musical journey. I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, hope to do this again sometime.
You never call